So carrying on from the last tutorial where we looked at just the brush parameters and using brushes, I'm just going to look at a couple of ways of actually being able to apply brush strokes to a model. So I'm just going to look at a couple of ways. If we just have a scenario where maybe we want to set up rivets down one of the edges of this model, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in, create a new layer. I'm going to choose an alpha, so maybe this screw one. Okay. So just playing about with the size. Okay, and then the spacing, and this is where this just comes in really handy. You can just get a sense of how this is working. Okay. So obviously we could go in and I could start painting this out, but not guaranteed to get a straight line. I'm not doing too bad. So we could do this and go down. But another way we can do this is just by using the shift key. So if I click the first point that I want one of the rivets, and then if I just press shift down, we get this line out. Basically wherever I take this line is going to be where we actually create these rivets. It always does it from the last point, so let me just undo this point. Let's put it about there. So another thing we can do, so I'm pressing shift down. If I press control down, then that's going to keep that in a straight line going down here. Okay, so it's actually controlling this. And if I take that up, that's going to put it at different angles and snap it to there as well. So I'm just going to get this viewport a little straighter. Go down to about there, and then just left click, and there we have those rivets in place. Okay. Just have this one on there from where I started. Let's just do that again. Let's click on the top. Let's shift control click and down here. Okay, so we could do that. I could actually change over to an orthographic view, and then it's completely flat or completely square to the camera. So this is probably a better view to do something like this in. So again, same kind of thing. And we could carry on, go on here, do the same kind of thing, down here, and do the same kind of thing. Okay, so that just makes it a little easier to do some of these tasks. I've not actually mentioned the material I'm using for this. I just have, basically I'm not using any material apart from the height information. So in here I just have the height on, and I just have a height value set in there. Okay. And you can just carry on. So that's one way of doing things. So that's the shift to drag out the line, straight line that's going to follow, and then control, we can constrain that to different angles. Another way that we can work is with something called a lazy mouse. If you've worked with something like Mudbox or ZBrush, you may already have used these kind of things. So over here we have this lazy mouse option, and what this allows you to do as we're dragging out, so we have this circle around this, and you see as I increase this value, it increases the circle. This is almost like the area that when we're dragging out, it's not going to start creating the brush stroke until it gets to the end of this alpha around this threshold area. So it gives us a bit of a smoother line. Let's just go up here. So let's say we're going around this corner. You can see it's not doing anything until we reach the edge of that circle. It just gives us a little bit of time to think about what we're doing with a mouse. Okay, so we can create quite nice curves on there. Do this one. Just take that out. What I might do is just bring this down. There we go, something like that. Could go around here. Let's just increase this a bit. So the bigger this is, the more kind of leeway you have before it starts drying out. And then I could always go back to my other tool and click those in. So we can use the best of both worlds. Okay. So that just enables us to get a bit more control over it. So let's go down here. So again, I'm going to start out with my lazy mouse options. So one more. And then finish that off like that. Now this one I might just put those in there. Let's go around here. Let's click one here. I can drag those out. One here. So there we have a set of details around that. Let me just click back to my perspective view. Nice and neat around there, and it's just a 2-second job to do that kind of work. So that's a lazy mouse and just being able to use the shift and control shortcuts as well. Okay.